Hi everyone, welcome to Hygge and Homeschool. My name is Maya and I'm the homeschooling mom of a third grader and a toddler. And today I will be talking about this book, Simplicity Parenting by Kim John Payne. And I really enjoyed reading this book. So yeah, let's dive into it. So it's 10 years ago since he wrote the book, and I can only imagine how much worse it's gotten with technology and activities and noisy toys and whatnot that our kids are exposed to. But he gives us a formula how to stop all these stresses in our kids' life. And the first thing is to simplify your life in many ways, all around. The next one, and that aligns so well with Waldorf, is to cut out the adult world, all the news, all the worries, and let them be kids. Don't bother them with all the stuff going on. And then the third thing is to give them rhythm and pauses and time in everyday life. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how I use what he said. So if you think about the first thing about simplifying, he says that most parents start with their kids' toys and their room and their choices, go in and find some clothes. What are you going to wear? Are you going to wear this, to kind of simplify. First of all, get rid of all the toys that you don't use, get rid of all the clothes they don't use, simplify the home. For me, I've always done it. I've always been very mindful of what I bring into my home. And of course we get gifts with, big plastic toys that make noises. And I let my kids keep them. How I do it is we have kind of a toy library, I would call it, where I put a basket with each theme. So my daughter has some calico critters, they're in one basket. She has some mice, they're in, and all their stuff is in another basket. She has a big Lego basket. She's very into imaginative play with Lego and building. And that's a third basket. That's just, some of it. And then she can bring out one basket at a time. So if you want to play with her mice, then she can bring them out, play with them. And then if she feels like, okay, now I've played enough with them, we're done, then we put them back in the closet and she can bring out another basket. So we don't have her room full of all these different toys. She has some toys that she has out, through the whole month. But we also I try to switch them around a little to bring out new toys that are interesting. And then of course she has her stables, her beloved doll that she's had since she was a kid, and a few stables that she plays with often. There's always silk scarves which they use to build little tents and they dress up with them. There's usually always have some kind of dress up out for them because it's just what they love to do. And then we always have the Duplos, the bigger Legos out, because both girls can just play for hours and build things, and they can be used for play food. They make ice cream, they make restaurant, they build little houses for the whatever doll is out, if it's the mice or whatever. So those are staples in our house. And so you can see behind me, we always have some wooden stuff out from Grimm's. And again, they're so versatile, they can use them for anything. So in that sense, I didn't think that was where we needed to start because I've always been very mindful. But you can always use a reminder to simplify. And I am thinking about going forward with gifts. We've always just received, I've never told anybody that we're super Waldorf, and I would never buy a big plastic thing myself with a lot of noise for my girls. And also another toy that I would never buy is stuffies. They already have a ton of stuffies, and I feel like it's not adding anything. But that's a thing that grandmas love to bring. So that was a little about simplifying the toys. And then there's simplifying your life and your schedule. And I feel, again, as homeschoolers, you really have to be mindful of this because I have my 2 kids. My husband works outside the home, so I have to transport us to everything, and there's just so many groups that we can be in. So I have really dialed back. I've also tried to minimize screen time. We used to do a lot of online classes, and this book, among other things, gave me like the last kick to kind of pull back on that. And that brings me to the next part. It's also to hold back on the adult world and don't expose them too much into that. And I feel some of the online classes, I didn't really know, the quality, the other kids, and she was exposed to a lot through that. Plus it was on a screen, which I'm not that big of a fan of. We do use screen a lot. I think there are some amazing documentaries that kids can see about the planet and nature, and they're beautifully made. I think there are some cute kids shows that are very age appropriate and beautifully illustrated and good language. So I'm one of the Waldorf-Inspired people who actually think there can be some value in a screen, but you have to be very mindful of it. That's my personal philosophy. And I do need a screen sometimes, and I actually think not even need, but also I think it can very much, you can benefit from it. Like I found, and I'm sorry I can't link them, but because I can't remember them, I often on YouTube find little clips of like we've had a Stone Age unit study, and there was like some beautiful Danish stuff made for schools about the Stone Age, and I found some of those clips and we watched them, and I think screens can be good. But back to the adult world, I think that was also a good reminder for me. I think even when you don't think it, when I talk to my mom on the phone, when my husband and me talk, that sometimes our daughter will hear it. I also think simplifying my own language. As you can hear here, I'm a talker. I talk. So not only keeping the adult world out, because sometimes I feel like I say too much. Like if she asks something, then I jabber on, and what's going on with the climate? Oh, there's this thing called climate change. Of course, I can't shelter her from the whole world, but I don't have to put the pressure on her and the politics and the wars that's going on in the world. I can try and talk less. And I found out that by talking less, she opened up a lot more. So that was a good way of simplifying in our household. The last thing was like the rules and the rhythm and the relaxation periods, and I feel that so aligns with the Waldorf rhythm of the day, rhythm of the year, and the in-breath and out-breath in our everyday life that I've started really implementing and thinking about. So I would say the biggest takeaway I have from this book is talk less, mama. But I'm so interested if anybody else have read it, what you have gained from it, if you like the book. I must say I really, I'm going to show it again. I really love the book, and I've gained so much from reading it. It's been on my shelf, and I kid you not, since my daughter was born. A friend gave it to me and said, read it, you'll love it. Now she is 9 years old, and I finally sat down and read it, and I'm so happy I did. Better late than never. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have read it, if you haven't read it, if you have any comments, please put them below. I'll see you next time. Bye.